there's also this problem within creativity where you almost can't appreciate it fully without being in it. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
it seems, like you said, it seems like, well, you're just having fun playing these songs. You know
Right.
how to play. It's like, well, I mean, that'd be fun if I think a lot of people think they could be creative.
For sure.
But, like
It's the thing
they
of
don't
like,
Everyone.
you
they
know,
don't
like
consciously think that, but like some part of their brain goes, I could do that if I really wanted to, I
Yeah.
could do that. And it's like, no, if you could, you would, and you can't. So
Yeah.
shut
It's
up.
the thing where
Yeah.
like I'll go shopping with my mom to stores and she'll pick something up and be like, I can make this, and I'm like, cool, let's go home
well,
and do it. And it's like, no.
Get after it then. Marshall's is calling.
Why aren't you?
Let's go.
But it's like, but I like, you know, I've thought that too. Like if I pick something up and I'm like, no, I could probably do this, but like you won't.
It's
Probably.
so funny because that's the exact thing they do to like
As a
to
concept.
millennials.
The people.
Like this
Mhm.
attitude of, well, if you could, then just do it, like, or stop whining
Right,
about
right,
it. And
right.
it's like the second you turn that around
Mhm.
and say things are not as easy as you think they are.
Yeah.
I owe a lot of people a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah. One thing I think was interesting, I feel like a great like I guess parallel to this was I watched Mr. Show not too long ago, and the problems that they would do a lot of sketches where David Cross was a Gen X person and they were being down, but I was like, "Oh, this is just the same.
Yeah.
Mhm.
It's all just like none of this is fucking real."
Yeah,
I mean,
it's
it's the same thing every single time. These people are trash. These people are good. The older people are smarter. You people are dumb. And this is just like what's happening. It's crazy watching. Like, there's a specific sketch where he's like out on the street. I feel like he's like wearing a yellow shirt. I feel like I remember. That's the only part of the sketch that I remember. But they're just like, they're writing him. They're like, you dumb Gen Xers and stuff. And he's like, all you want to do is smoke weed and just do nothing. It's like the vibe of the entire sketch. He's like walking down the street or something, and people are just like ragging on him left and right. Again, this also may or may not exist, but there's something like it that exists on
No.
the show. He might not be walking down the street. I don't remember. But like, there's just this vibe. And I was like, oh shit. They say the same thing about, but it's just on Facebook now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just like a bunch of whiny people with dumb hair being like,
It
"Millennials are
seems
stupid."
worse. It seems
Whiny
worse
people
because
with dumb hair. That's the definition of older people.
Whatevs.
It's true.
it seems
Cancel
worse
me,
because
older
social
people.
media keeps us artificially connected to people in ways that aren't
Mhm.
real.
Yeah.
You know, like, remember what I said earlier about old people don't get to define what being an adult is? That's always been true. It was true in the 60s.
Yeah, yeah.
It was true in the 70s. It was true in the 80s. It's true in the 90s. It's true now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's just that dumb thing of like what success looks like in America. And it's like this conversation has been had a million times. Non-creatives and creative people have all at a certain point in time been like, you know what, you're marching to the beat of your own drum, kid, or them just being like, yeah, my success isn't measured by like what my parents did. Like we know that, but it's also hard not to internalize that in some way, shape, or form, like as you go through it. And it's also
totally
like making jokes about it is like part of our
Totally.
our
Yeah.
whole thing. So
Yeah, it's like our culture.
it's
like we know
whatever.
we're it's fine, but it
Yeah.
is also just interesting to
We're
think
always gonna
about.
butt
You know?
It's interesting too because I've had this thought too. I am a millennial, so I feel it a certain way. But I've thought from the older people's perspective, it must be crazy to have so much access to what young people are doing.
Oh.
You know what I mean? Where it
Yeah.
feels like overwhelmingly terrible because in the past, every other generation, it's like maybe you see it on television, but
Yeah, and the news
it's not
media
like-
blows it out, whatever weird thing
right.
like
But now you
consumers
see
are
everything
doing.
that everybody does, and it's maybe,
Like,
maybe
all
that's-
young people are doing this.
Yeah.
It's like no, like 0.14% of them did this dumb challenge, and one of them died.
Yeah.
Like all of them are doing. Is my granddaughter doing it? And it's like no, she's certainly not. I'm sure she's busy with social studies homework. Like what
Yeah.
are you
Oh
talking
my
The
god,
about?
news
they have
doesn't help.
so much homework.
The news does not help with that.
No.
Acting like everything that is done is as
It's true.
normalized as they think it is, and it's not at all.
Well, they
It's-
love to
it's
blow
also
shit up.
fucked.
It's an
Makes money.
exhausting. Yeah, it's an exhausting thing to like be a part of, where it's like we have to be on this right now, and I'm like, I disagree.
No, you don't. You don't. There's a couple
I
dumb
don't
kids.
think
There've always been
so.
dumb ones. Some
That's
of
why
them
I'm
are
so
smart.
thankful I'm not like really in the field. I'm like I am, but I'm not in the
Yeah.
field of like reporting and media and stuff, where it's like a
Yeah,
very
it's a different vibe.
it's a very
I'm
like
glad to not be an actual
localized
sound engineer. 'Cause those people are insane. They're
You hate
crazy.
them.
You know, it's like
we hate our own people.
we hate
We're
our own
so
people
glad
'cause
to be on the
So
outside.
many of them are so terrible.
I know collab is very focused on the arts,
Mm-hmm.
but it is much more like what I consider real journalism to be, like it's not, it doesn't feel as reactive. It doesn't feel as we have to get this out today. It's
For
like there's a
sure.
story here. Let's take some time and understand it,
Yeah.
and then write up something, and then we'll review it and
It's my
edit it,
favorite
and
thing.
it'll actually be a thing we're proud of, rather
Yeah.
than something we have to cover up tomorrow with the next thing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's weird how it's almost full cycling,
Yeah.
like news media, the stuff that for me anyway, I can read something, and within the first paragraph I can usually tell if I'm gonna read the whole thing or not,
Yeah,
because
because it's usually like you know exactly what the whole thing's gonna be,
yeah,
and like it's the point of a lead, really.
right.
That's ideally.
That's another generational difference,
Yeah.
which is like, I feel like boomers are more like, well, I read this because it's CNN or it's MSNBC or it's Fox News or whatever it is, and
Mm.
it's like, well, that's why I read it, and we're like, no, that's gone. Now you
Yeah.
have to, everything you read, you have to
You
be
have to
like
read
garbage,
4
garbage,
times.
garbage, garbage,
You have
good.
to read the same story at least like 4 times
Mm.
to know what is actually true about the story, because you want to find the facts that match up, and it's fucking exhausting.
Yeah, and a
Yeah.
lot of it's trash.
Yeah.
A lot of it is just trash.
Yeah.
And I think we're really good at recycling it, like, or just pushing it,
Mm.
being like, I read that article, I got these facts out of it. The rest of it was just absolute trash.
Right.
I wonder what things will be like when we're old. Like, what
Oh,
will
we'll
we
be
be doing
complaining
that's
about?
terrible?
What are we gonna
Like,
be
what will we
complaining
be
about?
bad at? Like, what do you think shit's
Oh
gonna
God,
be like?
everything.
We're gonna be like
actually-
trying to bring back Vine, and Vine's gonna be a
I'm-
new
Do you know what I
NBC
we already
show.
did. It's called TikTok.
Yeah, but I mean, like, no. I mean, there will be a like a combined network TV, which is now CNN, NBC, Fox, that will have a Vine specific
All the
singing
segments
reality
are 6
show.
seconds